sleeps under the Aussie's gun at Sabina Park.
Credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
And a very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Lord with the CBC Evening News and our top story. Attempts are being made to cut out profiteering and weed people with no genuine interest in the public transport sector. That's the word from Transport Minister Michael Lashley as he toured the proposed new extension to the Riverbus terminal today. His comments come just days after a ZR van overturned there, injuring over 21 people, one of them seriously. Peter Thorne reports.
Transport Minister Michael Lashley says public transport is a matter of public safety and it's vital to bring order fully to the roads of Barbados. He says it's regrettable the majority of infractions are with public service vehicles, given they have made a significant contribution to Barbados' development. Mr. Lashley says now is the time for the PSV drivers, conductors and owners to help to improve public safety and comply with the law as a zero-tolerance approach to infractions is in place.
I'm pleading with the owners that they have to be extremely careful in terms of who they employ as drivers or who they employ to work on their vans. And secondly, I would say to the ZR drivers and the minibus drivers, I have no beef with them. I must say that they've made an outstanding contribution to public transport. But there are issues surrounding them, and they have to look at themselves as part of the national movement in terms of improving public transport.
Mr. Lashley said the proposed extension to the river terminal, which will cost $2.5 million, is set to start soon, noting that it will take just over a year to complete.
We have the money provided for in the estimates, so construction will start very shortly. The construction will be done by MTW workmen. We have good quality workmen at MTW, so I believe that we should see some work very shortly. CTO and the architect, they've actually put plans in place. We've had some technical meetings, and generally it's really to bring some order and discipline in the van stand.
The Transport Minister says the idea is to improve lighting, water and sanitary facilities and general conditions at the river terminal.
The first floor would obviously be the general terminal where people would gather. It lends itself to a natural terminal. As you see, it's fronting onto the terminal. The second floor, we will have constructed some offices where we will have the presence of officers from the licensing authority, presence of transport inspectors from the transport authority, and thirdly, the presence of hopefully of members of the Royal Barbados Police Force, so that they will have an on-hands approach and on-hands eye to the issues in here.
Minister Lashley has appealed to the operators of PSVs to exercise common sense and good judgment to minimize accidents, injuries and deaths on our roads. Peter Thorne, CBC News.
The recent decision by the National Cultural Foundation to start the Soca Royale event in the night has gone down well with many Calypsonians. That event will include the finals for the Party Monarch and Sweet Soca competitions. And we get more in this report.
The decision brings an end to years of constant appeals by some of the local Calypsonians. Reigning Sweet Soca Monarch Biggie Irie has been calling for the change since 2013. He believes it will boost performances.
It will be a much better short night. You get to see a lot more lighting, and the fireworks, will come off a lot better. Not only for the Party Monarch, but now for the Sweet Soca as well. So I'm happy.
There are also predictions the change will enhance the atmosphere at Bushy Park.
I think it will add to the spectacle and the whole atmosphere of the entire competition. Before, obviously, we had Sweet Soca during the day, and it was a challenge to kind of try to find that wow factor with the light being as it is during the day. And so to have it at night, I think it augurs well for the competition and for the spectacle.
Veteran Calypsonian RPB says performers and the spectators will benefit from the change.
I was really an advocate for moving the Sweet Soca Monarch competition into the night as well, so that we are able to use pyrotechnics and go all out, as the people say, in terms of presenting the song. So I am happy about that. It is also cooler. I think it's quite hot during the course of the day for performers to be there waiting, and then, you know, all tired before you go on stage. So I'm happy that's in the evening.
Numerous entries are expected for both competitions, and RPB hopes artists will think about bringing songs which last beyond both competitions.
I believe that we are still performing to the diaspora. It's very important that our music goes beyond our diaspora and go mainstream. We are still working hard to get the music mainstream, and unless we do that, we are only barely tapping in to the market of music. So I'm hopeful that we can go beyond the Caribbean diaspora and get the music mainstream.
The Sweet Soca event is scheduled for July 26th. Sean Farrell, CBC News.
Murder accused Gordon Manfield Redmond has been remanded to prison after appearing in the District A Magistrates Court today. 47-year-old Redmond of Lightfoot Lane Crossroad in the city was arrested and charged in connection with the unnatural death of Wilfred Patrick Edwards, formerly of Chapman Street, St. Michael. Initial investigations suggest that Edwards was struck with an object by Redmond on May the 12th while they were at Green Park Lane, also in St. Michael. Edwards received medical treatment and returned home, but he died on May 28th at his residence. We'll have more news in just a moment, but first we want to get your take on this question. Do you think Barbados needs to revamp its public transport system to stamp out current bad practices? You can text us yes or no to short code 8111, and we'll have the results for you at the end of our news.
Fun never done. Ping pong, share smile with everyone. Share that taste, not a tears, must waste. Chuckles make you smile. Start smiling. You got the fun. Charles Chocolates, for real chocolate lovers. Start smiling.
At Line, we don't need any tricks or gimmicks. We treat all our prepaid customers like MVPs. MVP means maximum value per person. Maximum respect. Subscribe to any 1 gig 30-day data plan and enjoy a reduced calling rate of just 49 cents to any network, any landline, anytime. With Line, you pay just 49 cents and call any phone in Barbados, so you won't have to top up as often. Put data on your phone and keep your money in your pocket with Line MVP.
Community Files. Members of the public are invited to a meeting to discuss the draft community plan for St. David's Christ Church to 6 Crossroads in St. Philip. It is being held at the Princess Margaret Secondary School Hall, 6 Crossroads, St. Philip, on Wednesday, June 17th at 6 p.m. The draft community plan is currently available for review at the following locations until Tuesday, June 16th. The National Library Service, Bridgetown Headquarters, Mondays to Fridays from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The 6 Roads Branch from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. The St. Patrick's Church Hall from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays to Fridays, and on Saturdays from 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. And the Town and Country Development Planning Office from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mondays to Fridays.
Hymns We Love is presented by Father LaPlante and features psalms and heartwarming songs of praise and thanksgiving, all with the compliments of Tucson's Funeral Home. We aim to please. Listen to Hymns We Love, reassuring you of a hope that can only be found in Jesus. It's on every Sunday at 5:15 p.m. right here on Q 100.7 FM.
Yeah, from you the voice, you know it's higher tier. So hear me, the man. Watch me in the Banks Beer. Watch you know. They must feel like Banks Beer soft, but Banks Beer like the place at the top. Banks Beer Black Party, top of the chart. Even from you the voice, you know it's higher representing for Banks Beer. And make sure say just listen to Banks Beer Black Party every Thursday at 98.1 FM from 8 to 9 p.m. Wait, body Indian, it's a go sick. Cause Banks Beer got the show fit. Hey, Banks Beer, sick.
Attorney-at-law Arthur Holder says if Barbados fails to address serious fundamental societal issues pertaining to crime, it won't make a dent in that problem. He made the comments at a panel discussion at the Frank Collimer Hall on the societal response to the glamorization of delinquency and crime. Peter Thorne reports.
A good crowd was on hand for this discussion on the societal response to the glamorization of delinquency and crime. It formed part of the Probation Department's 70th anniversary celebrations. Attorney-at-law Arthur Holder told the audience the stark reality is that most of the people before the courts in Barbados are young black men and women who are disenfranchised and marginalized. He says crime-oriented youth are viewed as attractive and providers in their communities, adding that our value systems have changed due to the importation of culture.
In a society that is impoverished, persons who are seen as heroes are seen as community workers. Let us be realistic. So the people that we see in the newspaper on a daily basis that are deemed by all and sundry to be vagabonds, within the community they're seen as heroes. Why? Because they provide a social service. And that is a reality that we need to face.
Mr. Holder doesn't believe the news media is at fault because it merely highlights what exists in the society and is a microcosm of that same society. Assistant Commissioner of Police Erin Boy says there is some acceptance of the glamorization of crime in Barbados. And in this regard, he says the media has a serious role to play in reporting crime and being balanced in its stories.
We, from a police perspective, believe that the media has a responsibility to report on criminal activity. We might not necessarily agree with the method or the manner in which they do it, because sometimes it is not balanced. Sometimes it is as though the negative is outstripping the positive.
Senior UWI lecturer in sociology Dr. Joan Phillips contends there is glamorization of offending and criminals in Barbados.
The idea of bad being cool is what is important in the 21st century. But part of that theme, or an element of that theme, is the role of the media. I think the media has a responsibility in terms of what it portrays and what it projects as role models. And an important element of that is the rise of what I call the anti-hero. All the heroes are dead, and out of the ashes have risen the anti-hero. The Lucius Lyons, the Cookie, the Walter White, those are heroes, but they're morally bad, but we are very attracted to them.
Regional Training and Human Resources Consultant Tony Olton says nowadays people are judged on their material possessions rather than depth of character.
How many more people must lose their lives or be maimed by the behavior of people involved in what we call the ZR industry? We had a significant incident yesterday. Before, as a society, we effectively respond to that particular issue. Where's the delinquency? Remember, I'm positioning this by saying that most behavior is learned behavior.
The Probation Department was established in 1945 and tries to effect change in delinquency and antisocial behavior. Peter Thorne, CBC News.
Local authorities are being told to continue early drug education, especially with adolescents. That suggestion from the acting manager with the National Council on Substance Abuse, Betty Hunt. Her comments came during a press conference where the findings of the 2013 Barbados Secondary School Survey were released. The survey showed students were older when they first used alcohol, tobacco, and marijuana, but it also revealed they started using inhalants at an earlier age. She says continuous education efforts are critical as the at-risk population for drug use includes secondary school students and those transitioning from primary to secondary school.
This period of transition is a time, and this has been shown by research, of acute vulnerability. I therefore offer to our national PTA, which is represented today, the assistance of the National Council on Substance Abuse in spreading the message of the importance of avoiding drug use as well as embracing healthy lifestyle choices through the development of appropriate negotiation and refusal skills.
Well, meantime, OAS representative to Barbados Francis McBarnett revealed that students have more information on illegal drugs through technology. He adds that surveys in secondary schools are useful as they assist with the collection of data.
It is highly likely also that in these institutions we may have an opportunity to instill correct values and perspectives and to initiate a lifelong conversation about choices and the consequences of those choices. The secondary school surveys that we are conducting, therefore, can be a useful tool and can tease out important data that can shape our response planning. The survey results can also help in evaluating the effectiveness of the prevention programs and projects that are being undertaken.
Well, from Monday, the Sanitation Service Authority will be providing a truck to collect recyclables across the island. Environment Minister Dr. Dennis Lowe says it has become necessary to separate such material from the general waste that goes to the landfill.
It will be expected to service all 5 zones on a scheduled basis. In other words, people in communities will know when the truck will be passing their way. And we're going to ask householders only to put out that special waste on the day the truck is supposed to arrive in their communities.
Dr. Lowe is speaking during the launch of the Green Truck and the awards in the SSA logo competition. First and third place went to Gabriella Hurdle and Tamara King, respectively, of the Princess Margaret School. Third place went to Malik Reese of Queen's College. Dr. Lowe made it clear that the new truck will place no added burden on general collection, which has come in for some criticism recently.
I heard a few conversations querying why would the SSA introduce a green collection truck when it's been having challenges in the overall collection service. So let me put that to rest. This truck has been out of service. It has been refurbished, rebranded, and now will enter into the fleet in this particular area.
Well, still to come, a look at some of the stories making headlines across our region. But first, a reminder that we want to hear from you on this question. Do you think Barbados needs to revamp its public transport system to stamp out current bad practices? Text yes